something on the left. Why would you chapter 3, verse 21? Who knows? Yeah, is focus. Whatever a great man does, common men follow. Paul was a big person. He did it first, and then everyone followed. So we have some very sincere devotees in this center who are working so hard, and other people are seeing thinking, can I come there and help? Right, Joan? I think the first time she came, she said, can I help you? She was so inspired, so this service. Service attracts service, right? Servant of the servant of the servant. So when the top servant is serving, everyone else begins to serve. So in this movement, we try to follow Prabhupada. And in this center, Last Ministry Cultural Center, soon to be called like when you think of Hare Krishna's temple, ISKCON like when you think of temple, very soon. We try to serve. And when we serve, everyone else wants to serve. So Malati was so pleased with the level of service in this temple. She only came like 2 days. Please know that I am your servant and willing to assist according to my capacity. Again, she's being a little bit older. I think she's 80 years old. She was 79, almost 80 years old. She's ready to help us to her capacity. I dearly hope to visit again in the coming year, perhaps during Panihati and Rakyat. That's a big festival that's put on by the Atlanta Hare Krishna temples. And sitting there, Mahaguna Devi Dasri, she's one of the main coordinators of the festival. She's been doing how many years now? 35 years coordinating her big Rakyat, chip rides, all of this. So, yes, I'm sorry, your servant, Malati Devi Dasri. I would like to offer a small suggestion that could help remind folks to apply Tila. You know what Tila? This marking Tila. Consider placing a small mirror and a little shelf to hold a container of free moistened Tila on the wall between the two hand wash sink that's over here by the lavatory along the side. In case put some Tila, so if anybody wants to put it on. You know, in the old days, in 1973, they used to do that. So here I am coming, I'm a musician, I have all this local brand recognition. I'm coming to the Hare Krishna temple, you know, to hang out, see what's happening. And they put deal on me. And I used to forget to say no. So I go back to my neighborhood, why are you looking at me? And you get this funny things on your head. I'm, what? So he used to come home in a great person. I went to the, how do you say, Gurdwara? Is that correct? Gurdwara. Near my home on Harrison Road. One nice young girl was getting married. I knew her since she was a baby. So immediately when I walked in, they put a scarf. I'm not a Sikh, but you want to come in? Nice. When you go to the Jewish synagogue, they put that yarmulkes, thing on your head. And even big personalities, president, whatever, they put that little thing on your head. So what's the harm in putting a little tila? It's one actually, one thing. You know what I tell them? I said, you can pay attention. Oh, yeah, that's it. This is my tattoo. That sounds cool, it's all right. Some people have tattoos in your face, neck. What's that thing? Is something seen in here. All this not too wrong. So don't be ashamed. If we provide it, take the opportunity. The little kid inside, those young kids, she jumped up and danced. Unbelievable. So Malati is giving us that blessing. And then Sham, she wrote back to Sham again. To the last one. Maybe I missed it. Yeah. As per your guidance, devotees are never wearing much of their time and temple. Thank you so much. This is Sham responding to it. Then she writes back. This temple is blessed by your caring leadership. Everyone here is effulgent. You think effulgent means sad face? They used to say, our Christians are bright face, not sad face. Why is that? By the way, Gita, Susukam, Kartam, okay. What's the whole verse? Rajam Kinchi, Rajam Puja, Pavitram, even Pradhyuksha, Mandanya, Kartam, Susukam is happy. Then you see everybody smile. The young ladies who used to like fun. He's smiling because he's saying, go back and we're nice and warm. Smiling. Then you say, well, why is it problem not smiling? We have this comment, he's like, because he's absorbed in Krishna. Every second of his life absorbed in Krishna. Sometimes it's just, when he came to Atlanta, well, that's another big thing. It's happening next year. It'll be the 50th anniversary of Prabhupada coming to Atlanta. So when Prabhupada came to Atlanta, not only was he not smiling, he was crying. Yes, we're figuring that out because Gopal Runny says it's 76, I say it's 75. So we'll confirm. The Prabhupada, when he was here, again, not only was he not really smiling, he was so overwhelmed by the presence of the deities in the Atlanta temple. And just, we didn't have Radha Krishna beads. We didn't have Jagannath beads. Just like here we have Gauri Tide. So we have brass Gauri Tide, that temple. And when he saw those deities and he started talking about the glories of Lord Chaitanya, that Krishna, he demands that you surrender. Sarvadharma Parijaja Mame. But he said, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he doesn't make a demand. Then he started crying. So my point is, smiling, not smiling, but on his level, was the absorption in Krishna is so deep that the happiness really within. That's also in Bhagavad Gita. The real happiness that we're looking for is within. It's all within. The body will not give it to us. In fact, the body will give us more and more trouble as we get older and older. And even when you're young, the body gets trouble. Even when the baby comes into the world, nothing but trouble. Like Prabhupada would say, baby is crying, and the mother sticks a bottle in his mouth. But he's saying, I need to take care of it. Take me to the bathroom or whatever. You don't know. So the real happiness is within us. So this center, we focus on helping you all become Krishna conscious. Please don't come expecting that you'll get a job, but you're probably not going to get one of them here. Like I know sometimes, we demand some of our prominent members. One of them, he always said, when I came to the temple, I was trying to make business relationships. And he did make a very big business relationship. Well, that also happens. You make friends and all that. But our focus here is trying to help you become Krishna conscious. So this coming year, and I would say this temple has been successful in a year and a half time to help people become Krishna conscious. So let me ask from some of you, what has this done? What's it mean to you? What has it done for you? And we'll proceed with a few more points. But anyone would like to just share what this temple means to you? I know some people say that it's nice having a center in the neighborhood. Amazing. You have a center right here. You have a right over.
This temple has helped me strengthen my spiritual journey and actually excellent. I was inclined towards Krishna and spirituality since childhood, but this intensity I have got only after coming to this.
Wow. Hare Krishna. Mahabharata, you were one of the first people to help develop this part of our original blues session. What does it mean to you having this wonderful center here?
I think it means that, you don't have to be limited in our worship, that because at least from my perspective, we all choose to live where we want to live.
Yeah.
And sometimes having, a temple that is not accessible, and it is very difficult because I personally like to come to Sunday feast.
Yeah.
I personally like to come to some of those programs and everything. It is also, association as well as, seeing the deities. It reaffirms and strengthens your connection. So if, I miss going to the temple. I miss, meet all those,
Yeah.
meeting all those people, new people, old people and all that, doesn't matter. Yeah. But I developed and I grew up, as you know, in this country with going to the temple every Sunday, not missing one thing. So I think it is more about reaffirming yourself, your connection to Prabhupada Krishna. It's not that I don't have deities at home, but I think when you come and collectively see together and you worship, that association I think is also important. I think that is so for me it means quite a bit. It means a lot. It's not one thing. It means that I now don't have to be limited, that I cannot go, or that cannot become an excuse to not go to the temple, right? So it helps me to ensure that I'm staying connected with, Srila Prabhupada and especially, and sometimes I also, of course, I miss your classes in Atlanta temple, so at least this is one of the ways I can hear you speak. It is very, because I've always liked and admired the way you speak. It's very simple, direct. You don't brainwash people. I think those are some things. I don't know. I know it's a long answer, but it means everything in the sense of having that connection and at least being able to worship, do everything you want to do in the temple and not being able to, because sometimes going downtown, it becomes difficult. I do love to go to that kind of thing. Pontiac is always in my heart. It's etched in my heart, and I've told my Guru Maharaj that as long as I live, or at least I have capable of doing my seva for Pontiac, I'll do it. That's why I continue to improvise and do it in many ways. So, yeah, that temple connection will never go away. It's just not able to access that temple regularly. I miss. So this is more like the extension of having to come to another Prabhupada. And again, my Guru Maharaj, just to make a final point, Jagtat Maharaj has mentioned that why do you need to limit ourselves to one temple?
Exactly.
I mean, if I drive from my house to come to Patel, I run across 5 temples. They're not in this, right? They're worshiping something, but there's so many temples, so why can't we have as many private temples?
Yes.
That way you can always go in different things and.
So here's my phone page now over here, but before she speaks, she is one of the successes of this temple, apart from being a good wife or something. So there's something so important that happened last year. And that is by the support of a very important GDC member, that means Governing Body Commissioner, His Holiness Dear Krishna Swami, and Kuladri Prabhu, the liaison, legal liaison. We were able to get the authorization to give the recommendation, first and third. That's a little complicated. But in order to get initiated, you have to get a letter, a recommendation from a local authority. And we're not getting those in the way that we needed. So by the grace of Dear Krishna, he asked me, so can you be the local representative? And you write that letter. Sure. So one of the big guys get upset and said, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it, okay? So we wrote the letter for her, to His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. So Sri Shamapriya Devi is the very first initiated devotee coming directly from this temple.
Who have helped me to come to that point, and many other devotees who have been succeed when they have done service together and while I was doing the disciple course, there was support. It's all the support and association of devotees that I have been able to move forward. If I would sit at home and think that I'm going to worship and I will never progress. But in this temple, I got a lot of opportunity. If I have not to cook, I can cook. I want to clean, I can clean. There's so much opportunity which I have not experienced anywhere because it's a new place. We need people. We have limited resources. So as a result, we get a lot of opportunity which some people think is not worth it. But really, we actually progress when we make use of these little opportunities that. And the most important thing to add to Mahaguna Mataji, who's so advanced, and Bhagavad Prabhuji, what I've really experienced here is preaching to new people. It has been so satisfying when you see people when they come back in the temple and they want to hear. Many people don't know what this temple is. When I can talk to them by Krishna's mercy, I feel very happy and they are so happy. So actually, I have told Shyam Prabhu that we should really concentrate on teaching directly to people and give some more time during morning times and spend direct time with new people because that will really help us. So this temple is full of opportunities, spiritual opportunities, not material, but when you're spiritually comfortable, Krishna takes care of you from all sides if you're Christian. If you think that nothing is not God, then it will not be good. But when you have trust that God will take care of me and make you to utilize every opportunity given to you, though a lot of challenges will come, everything will work out. Thank you so much.
Who else would like to share what this temple means?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think the biggest thing for me is the opportunity for especially newer devotees to be able to do service. I myself have experienced that recently came into this Krishna consciousness movement just in college. And now I'm just freshly graduated in May. So during that time, of course, the Atlanta temple was always there, but what I found is many things were established already. So there were already people doing different services. And so, things like cooking and like what we were saying, cooking, cleaning, or like even singing to the deities.
Yeah.
Those things, you have that opportunity here for new people to get involved in that thing. There's no question of do you have any qualification? Are you initiated devotee or anything like that? It's no, anybody who wants to serve, just make sure you're following the proper rules that are set for that service, and you can definitely take part in making the unlikely sweets in the mornings.
Wow.
Just like that, and even just unique suggestions, things like that. I think one time I just said, "Hey, we should have a picture of Panchatattva in the temple," and then immediately Shamargo went into the back, pulled out a picture of Panchatattva, and now it's just a wonderful opportunity for a new group of people to get very much involved and kind of grow in their spiritual life. And like Sri Shampriya was saying, we have our first initiated devotee through the temple. And I hope that we continue that and we get many more in the future. And like she was saying, is cultivate Krishna consciousness, new people, and then keep going and have them start bringing other people to the temple and making a very large congregation.
I really like your point about you made a suggestion to Shaman. He heard your suggestion, and then he did it. Did that increase your faith?
Of course.
That's the secret. If the leader doesn't listen, then people lose faith. People become unhappy. So Shaman and I were talking about that yesterday. That's our primary function is to hear from you. What do you think would make this temple better? So last night, if you notice on the walls, there's some new paintings. And there's one behind me here. So this devotee who is the godbrother of Mahavuna, and now Sri Shamana. But he was also the former vice president working with me in the Vatican. So he had a very successful organic business, food business. That little stand in the back, all those things, he produces that. Very nice. But he also has an interest in painting, original painting that we from Russia. So he and Sean got together and he donated some and he gave some discount prices to make this place nice because he had that in his mind. He wants to do that. And Sean listened. Last night he came, he was happy putting these, he spent like hours putting them up, figuring out where they're gonna go, bringing all the paintings in and out. Because Sean will listen. Our primary function in this company, what is our primary function in this company? We just talk. Serving the community, providing an environment where we can progress through that. If you have a suggestion, no wait, one nice lady was here earlier, if you remember her name now. She had written to Sean before, but she's a trained classical singer from Indian culture. And she wants to provide that service. She was asking me earlier, is there some program for the kids? I said, what do you do? I'm a singer. I said, you can come and teach it. So if you have an idea how we can improve, do not hesitate to contact Tom Gary Roof. Mahir Gopal, myself, Sri Shamapriya. Would you hear? Kalkash. Many devotees here, maybe. We'll try our best to do it. But we know if we follow your good advice, now wait a second. Sometimes you give your opinion. I wrote a quote, this is my quote. You have a right to your opinion, but it doesn't mean your opinion is always right. Keep that in your mind. We'll listen to whatever good suggestion comes, but it doesn't mean that every single thing, like you said, that's not all in this. It was a nice big room. Then all the kids come and play football. When they started thinking, you know, that tell them stop. They get mad at me. Well, you just mean, blah, blah, blah. This is not for football. You want to dance, jump, run around? So make good intelligent suggestions. Think deeply of the primary function of the center to provide an environment for spiritual development. That's what Paul's vision is. His vision of ISKCON, which will be in the next couple of months, an official ISKCON center, was a place of training. I'm reading Prabhupada's letters from 1947 until he passed away in 1977. Right now, on 1966. And he's begging his God brothers in India, please help me get one Radha Krishna temple in America. And he found a building in New York, a 3-story building. At that time, in 1966, it was $100,000. That's a lot of money in that. So he's trying to convince people to help. But he said, I have many opportunities for giving lecture. I'm going here, going there. He said, but some casual lecture has no real value. We need a place to train devotees. He said, I have some interest in this process, and I have interest for people. I need a place to train them. Not just one lecture and go away. Well, that was a good lecture, Swami. You were really good. That's not good enough. That was not good enough for Shanti Hari Prabhu and Madhuri Gopal and Mahabuna, myself. This is good enough. We want a place where we can provide training. So we have the Sunday, this is not the only class. We have the Sunday program. Either I give a class or some devotee gives a class, Sean gives a class. It's one class. But Sean Prabhu do a class on Friday. Srimad Bhagavatam every Friday. It started in the first canto, now we're on the 10th canto, every Friday. Then, on the second Saturday of the month, we have Prabhupada giving the class. He gives a class by way of a video. That's the second Saturday. Third Saturday, we have chanting for 4 hours. We did it last night. 4 hours nonstop. And we have other opportunities for associating with Nigeria. One other thing I wanted to mention, yesterday, we kicked off, as Mahabharata mentioned about the 50th, like we're doing 50 Harinam Sankirtans in various homes and locations. So yesterday we did 5 total. We did 1. Where was that place? Woodstock or Canton? Canton. So we drove all the way to Canton, did a kirtan there, and then we came back here, did more kirtans, so we did 5 out of 50. Now we have 45 minutes. Deadline is February 28th. Prabhupada came to Atlanta, February 28th, and we're gonna walk to that date. So we need, I'll put you on the schedule, right? Kirtan. If anybody wants to have a kirtan in your home, when they go call, is that 5 fingers or 1? You like this 5? So anyone. 5 kirtans. Each one's half hour to 1 hour maximum. You don't have to make a big piece, like some people and myself did it last year. We went 50 kirtans, and we kept telling people, no, you don't have to make Krishna. Every house is Krishna. But it's, you gotta do the regular sleep. So just keep symbols. So that's going on as well. Sometimes there are 3-4 programs in a day. 3-4 times. Oh, another thing we're gonna do next year, just giving some insight, there's not gonna do something there. This is something that I really feel strongly about. It's Prabhupada's, his style of chanting. Okay? Srila Prabhupada recorded or was recorded numerous times. In fact, one of the letters that I read today, he was telling his daughter in India that I had made one recording of chanting. People love it very much. But I'm noticing that amongst the younger generation, they don't know Prabhupada's melodies. They don't know Prabhupada's bhajans. They have a lot of nice bhajans and melodies and styles of playing. I give a class on Mridanga, this drum. We'll start again next year. But I tell my students, I'm not teaching all the fancy stuff. See that? I gotta do this, I gotta do. No. I'm teaching one beat. You know that beat? It's called the Prabhupada beat. It goes like. Prabhupada. It's a father. I said, no. Learn Prabhupada's beat first. So what we're doing, some included, we're gonna have a Kirtan festival. Kirtan festival, we'll put it on a Kirtan festival with our youth, probably ages 5 to 17, 18, 19, like that. And they will sing only Prabhupada's melodies. Bhajan and Kirtan. I will personally teach them only Prabhupada's melodies. This is the first in this time. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. So the vision is we'll start here and we'll let other devotees know around the world this is something good for our youth. They can preserve Prabhupada's traditional chanting because when I'm gone and gone, Prabhupada's disciples gone, if it's not done now, we won't have it. Prabhupada's melodies will be lost. Then in the future, 100 years from now, they'll be trying to figure out how did Prabhupada sing. We want our next generation to preserve it. So please, we'll announce it when we start. Okay. So, John, you want to share?
So probably it will be
Yes.
tasks before the festival.
I'm sorry.
What is Kirtan?
Yeah. I'll understand here. I need to. So the one looking to work, LNCC, and then this is national. What experience and all. What is what we don't have awards. When say that we can improve, but I think that's our building block, right? For 2025. So we need to know what can be different. What is it that we are missing? But we don't want to be stagnant, not be here before. Stage. And you can only do that if we get input from our view, right? So we can want to see. Hare Krishna.
Everything is good, but for little kids, I always feel they don't have much to do. And they are always on their phone or they just run out and stuff. So I don't know if you can come up with something for kids.
Yes.
Like you can have a little library of books, like kids' books, or some Krishna coloring book for very small kids. Like you can donate some colors, give something instead of dumping technology. And little older kids can read books, something again.
That's very interesting. That's something that we have been thinking more about in Asia. We have a little collection of children, so some children, they can't actually pick up books and read. Like, there's one family, they come to the neighbors, and then come to the Muslim temple. The son will sit here for 2 hours, read, right? And we really appreciate that. We like that because our books are like Prabhupada books and other books. They provide so in-depth knowledge in this type of speed. It's really what they try. So we encourage that. But yes, that is something that we need to look into and see how we can engage our children. Right now, we have been kind of doing support from Gita wise and referring children to them. But yeah, we, when parents come here and the children are with them, they have to be engaged. So that is something that we have to put on and that's very, just you put it on as well.
I'm making notes, but
Yes, there goes, there you go. Anything else? Anyone else?
In 2 years now, I think I saw this function going on here when I came to brothers. And came to know for some temple they are opening. So why they are opening a temple in the Thomas complex? That was my so. So we will come here and getting the peace of mind and a lot of preference. So it took me almost 1 year to enter Indus. Yeah, I was under the Indian, but once I entered here, I don't know what happened. I mean, there is thing in I don't know how to express it. I felt very happy, and the way the who experienced the system that prompted me to come. You know, it could be something the way that's explained. Come the road, you will feel the difference. So I started talking, slowly felt there is some value in this. There is some power here. Even though I thought of why they open in commercial complex, then I came to know other people and nearby. I said, "Oh, so there is some value here. I mean, some significance in why God opened here the temple. Then my sensation is when I came here, it's better to have something put to like compulsory. I try to say where I can keep it and keep up what? Yeah, then all.
Yes, yes, that we are already giving them all.
Yes. Still, so even now, the problem to when the prayer is going on, what's kind of singing and all, it's we need to have a class, to beginners to explain that what is the process, what we consider on is simple as myself.
That's good. Thank you all. So that we will overcome that most. Because of it. But then we have education that we very soon or it was something we have to do. Anything else?
So I have two or three suggestions.
Yeah,
It needs to build upon whatever you said, but what we used to do is that when a new person comes, this one Bhavadra, whenever we used to have any new guests in the temple, we would have a devotee who was an initiated devotee who would be there, like they're tagged along to that. So you first thing, as soon as we start the lecture, you would find out who are the new guests. And then you would give them one of the Beyond Birth and Death or whatever, one of those books. And then they would be sitting next to a devotee till the whole festival is over. This we used to do in San Diego Temple. And I used to be there. So there would be newcomers and they don't feel like left out, so they will be explaining to them quietly, as well as through the whole prasadam, they will sit with them and eat. One thing we do here is we often do a lot of clips where devotees just sit around and eat themselves and they don't mingle with guests who are coming. I think that is one thing is to have like a mentor, a program, and not a mentor meeting all the time, but just on the day of the Sunday piece. That's something, it was very well done in San Diego. We used to do that. The other thing is, obviously when the new person comes, you would have them stand up and talk about them, who they are, why, how they came, like you said, for 1 year you didn't come and all of that stuff. That is something, we should think about. And one more suggestion is that we hear a lot of talking in the kitchen while we are having class. What we did in the temple before, we put up a speaker system there so that when you're talking, because they're doing a lot of cooking and everything, they can hear the lecture, they can like even everything here. That way they're meditating because they're cooking for the pleasure of the Lord. So maybe I'm putting a speaker system in the table from the kitchen, did you know that?
That's funny.
There's, because we do over here, quite a bit of noise coming from there. Okay. Yes.
Anybody? Right, welcome. Here.
Everyone, I just wanted to say thank you so much for, this temple, is so welcoming and so warm, so it's not much more than a suggestion. I'm sure there's a lot of room for improvement, but, I for one came here, new as well. And, I like the intimacy and the closeness of this temple and the opportunity that it provides for Seva. Because, like in the mother temple and like what the other guy was saying, everything's already established and it's not as encouraging, or it doesn't have the opportunity as much to create for newcomers to have say that. And when you're going into Krishna consciousness, especially if you're new, especially for newcomers, I think it's important to encourage people to do service, because we always say the servant of the servant, the servant, but then how could you be a servant when there's still opportunity for service? So I do want to thank the sample so much for giving me an opportunity just to be a dishwasher in the kitchen or whatever, today it came late, so, but, it's something that's important to create opportunities for service, either the mopping the floor, whatever needs to be done, or selling clothes or whatever. So for newcomers, I think the only suggestion is like encouraging them more to do this.
I also feel that the outside area, if you could somehow let people know that Lakshmi Narasimha they may or may not know, but that it is a Krishna temple, that it is connected to Islam, and that it is, and that as they come in, there are some posters and other things that will explain to them the basics of the philosophy, so that they know it's not just another temple, but that there is a deep philosophy that is based on the Bhagavad Gita, that is based on the ancient Vedas. So there's going to be many people who aren't familiar with that. If you assume that people know, that's great. But if they don't know, and they're walking in, particularly the Indians who come to the Patel brothers, if there needs to be a way to attract folks from there to here, through signage here, or maybe something even placed at the out there where people can get to know what is that this is here and that this is part of Islam. And we may not even know that. It may not be clear when they're looking at the outside that this is part of that same Islam, Hare Krishna, that this is a Christian temple as well.
Yeah, there was changes coming in for Brandon Hall, those repeated in the aspect of the original humanities. And the whole image will change. And so I think they going through that process that we shot. Because we have all these things to adopt.
we're working to get that out. So that we have much to the second part. Yes, we are trying to create more awareness of the values that we go in the or the fastest. The root of everything you do, we are trying to create that awareness. We have we started pushing advertisements on social media in big way now. Then the events are also the events that we celebrate here are also being publicized. We're slowly getting into that because in the last 1.5 years, we have moved of establishing ourselves.
Yeah.
Now we're more focused on growth. So you will see those changes coming very soon. Uh, we are cognizant of it and we're in everything to creating awareness.
Like interestingly speaking, the nonsense that you will hear, especially from children and so on, is Indian. And most of them want the best for their kids and they're displaced and in a foreign land. I wonder if having a week in a day in the week where we have like Christian stories, and that is a special class for kids, where they come and they hear the pastimes, and so we have a regular thing that goes on, with that, and then they can come do some coloring around it, they can do some maybe just design the whole thing around that so they get to become part of, so they can engage their lives in Krishna. So perhaps based on the Krishna book, and then from there we can expand it into plays and acting and the kids doing kirtan and the kids getting involved in various activities and ultimately developing a whole children's sangha of devotee children. And I think for Indian parents, that's a big deal to be able to have their children get that education.
And that's what Rita also mentioned. So that's something that we definitely want to look into because we have not yet been focused on developing a program for children. There's no question for it. And that's something that we have to give importance to going forward. So like I just used to say, that's exactly what we're looking for is those kind of ideas that we can implement and have the children that come to the center express their talents. So those are some things that we get into just and we really appreciate getting ideas from everyone that see how we can improve. That is definitely it works. Anyone else? You want to have something else? Let's make it short.
This is on behalf of Rukmani Mataji who cooks every Sunday feast. This Sunday they are not here, they have gone out of town, and her husband helps to clean up the kitchen and always is ready to help. Even on the weekdays he comes in the morning. Something is not done on Sunday, he finishes it. But every Sunday when I am here, so they tell me, Mataji, why don't you all announce at the end of the program that please, who is going to come and clean today? So then you always have somebody, because there are times that everybody goes away and I'm sitting at 8 o'clock in the evening and alone struggling and whoever comes from the door, they come for darshan and I tell them, I request them and say, do you want service? Do you want to do something? So they feel very bad and they feel, no, why not we just as we have the daily services for cooking every day, why shouldn't we have it more organized that at the end of the program, there is a group of people ready to clean and you don't have to find people. Thank you so much.
Something we appreciate because we ends at 2 o'clock. We want to be out. We don't realize that there's this lot of council who make to have made that you don't have it. there are so many activities. So we appreciate and help that. Anything else? Yes.
There's some things that I've seen from being in the high school and hope now, but it's kind of still coming out of the temple. So they, for the kids, especially what they do is during the classes, like Sunday feast, that's what most of the kids are here, right? Because they found their parents to have some programs simultaneous with the teacher just for them. And then doing, like, I think there's supposed to be like a sliding door, and sliding, like wall, where like, if that could be used for just kids during the Sunday feast, that there's somebody there to help them, and based on the kid, if they're younger, you can give them like a activity, drawing activity. If they're older, you can actually preach something, and teach them something. And then that can be going simultaneous to the Sunday feast, because that's when you see the most of the kids that are running around and doing, different activities. And, also for Saturday, I think we're doing a good job. Friday, there's class, Saturday evening, there's program. Sunday, there's, Sunday feast, but, and I think there's a big opportunity for Saturday for preaching. Like you can start in the morning with the class and then help, new devotees is looking to learn the art of preaching, and then you improve the opportunity. Like you can just go to tell other various Sudhita, all those Indian areas, or even non-Indian functions are very close by, and tell people that, this is what we do. You can try to do the Bhagavad Gita and send you some maybe tomorrow. There's a free feast, please come and attend and learn from you about Bhagavad Gita. And that's what we do in ISV. Saturdays, the day that devotees go out and preach, and they bring people the next day to the service.
Thank you. We appreciate that. We agree with you that we need to get more focus on teaching. Saturday is a good day. You and me were trying to go for distribution, but make sure not have plans. So yes, we definitely like to do that. Anything else? Okay, so those are really good suggestions. None of these suggestions are going to be put aside or forgotten, because now we will be brainstorming the goal or the local programs and small members. We will be brainstorming to see how best we can improve these suggestions, because ultimately it's good yours and this centers to belong not only out there. So the idea is that we all grow together. So we will take into account these suggestions and see how best we can implement it. But thank you so much. Anything else from this one? Okay. So now for the next step, we have the meeting that we want to celebrate. So we request our parents as well as the why we have our, this one. I'm checking it. So I've known this wonderful family person right now. Varun actually comes to learn harmony over here. So you play harmonium now? Sleeping so bad. I don't blame you, because I've never been able to put in time myself. You know, I'm the same way. Yeah, yeah, me too. So how old are you now? I'm 3, oh, you look like a 3 years. Yeah, I'm 17. So, no, you know, very many say you don't do yours. You know, teaching point of view, know that we are always 16 years old, we don't grow beyond 16. That is how it is in the spiritual world. So this is the spiritual world. So here everyone is 60, okay? You don't have to consider anyone older than 60, isn't that right? So we're gonna give happy birthday to this extremely rock, what's your name? Your name is Sunny? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna give a house. Everyone is going to say happy birthday to the police. And we're going to pray the Lord Krishna to get blessings of not only Lord Krishna but all the Vaishnavas in God. Alright? It's very important saying happy birthday and you give the promise from the deities. It's Vishnu promise. Now, the question is that you break the garden for 5 minutes, then you share it with the other 12 months. It's it will be 60. Yeah, it's very good. Okay, so are we ready to say happy birthday to Sunny? Can I remember the name? It's a very complex name. So let's try to remember them. Okay, what's the name? Can you remember? Sunny, okay? So we're saying happy birthday to Sunny, okay? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. So it was ask the parents to share the beautiful side. Hare Krishna. And then I will do. So now we're not completely open because we need the business of all the Vishnus too. So you have to read and hand and go in the air. And then hurry for 3 minutes. If you use it, and you have to do it. 5 minutes. Hallelujah. 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 This song. This is something. Thank you so much for all the blessings. That's the comment.
Thank you, everybody, for all the blessings and the family is there. Means a very special birthday. This temple means a lot in this family. What the family is very what to happy, but to learn about that in more detail. Simpler form, I guess, for everything. From the same. I'm getting another.
Thank you everyone for being here for this special occasion with the person. And to me, spiritual journey is something that I look forward to, right? And when I go to many temples in the US, sometimes you don't get the message. The message you are giving here is what we want our children to hear. That's the reason we come to this. We've been many time in the country for almost 4 decades. For many temples, now we all know that. But at the same time, the message, we do certain things the way we do. And this message that we get here is talking straight from the Gita. And sometimes Gita is complicated, people don't understand. And you're making it very simple for all of us. Thank you so much. Of course, I've been to many ISKCON temples also.
invite the word, but I'm really happy
Hello, thank you so much for having us today. I'm really grateful. I also agree with my dad, like it's hard if you don't know this unspoken those languages, understand that. You explain it amazing out of leadership in English, so thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for being here and celebrating something today. We really appreciate it. For me, one of my New Year's resolutions last year was to improve on my spiritual health. And back in, I think, June, around that time, I started learning about the Bhagavad Gita as well. I was very fortunate to find an English teacher who could teach me the Bhagavad Gita. She does it in both languages. But just to be able to see that, because back in the day, I felt really blessed that I was able to find a teacher like that because there was no opportunities like that. But seeing, people here teach me English and catering it more towards the younger generations, so nice to see. So thank you so much. You're really blessed. This is my first time. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
So we hope you'll be coming here many more times. Yeah, you'll get very wonderful association and you'll get wonderful shower that you're going to send. So on behalf of the National Congress Center, we want to present this small gift to study. It's a very beautiful calendar for 2025 and two small books of the one. We think that we need helpful. It is first point, literally, thank you so much. Very good start. Thank you, family. Feel the family. And for them, choose to separate what people.
Patel, but this.
I said it, Jack. So we will sum this cake with the lamp. And all the Vaishnavas can enjoy it, so I'm going to keep you by both Mohammed and Dharma. Okay, thank you. So, thank you. So, now we will be serving the prasada, but if you can take one to make an announcement, we have a very wonderful programs for party. Everyone celebrates the 23rd of January in some art or in some restaurant, in some local. And next day, they are hangover, so many times, with the that we will give you the most memorable celebration of the peoples. First of all, the parades at 7 o'clock will be a very nice time, right? Will give concession time to come, will give the five does that we perform along home. That is so powerful that it will make sure that in 2025 you're protected by the human, not issue, right? That's the question that you perform, you for everyone here. Please don't when you're as a government, thank you. So that all will happen for you. And you're not the common participate in the job. That is now a 7 to 8 o'clock it will happen. And then 8 o'clock we will start a marathon kirtan. From 8 to 11 o'clock. There'll be wonderful symbol over here. A very static kirtan like some of you who are here next must have seen or before the kirtan was. The same thing will happen on 31st from 8 to 11 o'clock. Right? 11 o'clock, we will do something for the kids. Everyone wanted this thing. So there will be games for kids from 11 to 11:30. Lots of games, Kahoot and many other games that develop they are not here. Why 11 o'clock? Because that's the time when kids becomes sleepy, right? So you want to keep them engaged so that they can wake up at night. Because at midnight you will have a entire week according to the duties. Right? Imagine starting your year with fulfilling an artery to the non-ships. And when nothing can go wrong with that year, it's not will be there. So we do that in Islam temples when we bring it here too. There'll be Maharti at midnight. The Lordship will give in a few bless, will be in a nice bless. So you'll see them in all their glory, right? 11:30 to 12, Ananda Prabhu will be here, I'm assuming, and he will speak on the importance of this particular celebration just before the year starts. Why this yajna and then why Viveka is so important because as you step into 2025, you understand in there that all the blessings that you can get. And not only you get the blessings of the emotions, you get the blessing of all Krishna. So the year was a very great way to start. I can't think of a year when we can start our new year without being at the midnight, at midnight in the temple. So give it a shot and see how it helps you, right? And then next day on 2025, which is the Navavarsa, the new year, we can have a Mela wood here. We can have a lot of tables with books and posters, pictures, and clothes which will be on the everything will get a discounted price and then you get next extra 10% off. Check on. So you'll be able to get a lot of wonderful things you can get. And at the same time, you can come to the temple and offer the feedbacks and the other whatever you feel inspired to do. So there'll be a lot of activity going on throughout the day, starting from 10 a.m. all the way up to 8 p.m. That is when the temple goes. So you can take advantage of that. So New Year can be celebrated by offering our funds to doctors and also participating in this Mela that we will take. Right, so really wonderful days of celebration will be in the new year. I'm sure that we prepare you for a wonderful 2025. Okay, thank you all so much. And now we will be serving prasadam. So please enjoy the prasadam. It is pure, Vietnam prepared prasadam, sattvic, only sattvic, no garlic, no onion. If you like, you don't need garlic and onion, and we present it practically over here. Wonderful prasadam with a pie. So come and enjoy. Thank you.